Here in the U.S., as well as much of the world, there is a mass awakening. In the 80s and into the 90s, there has been a tremendous influx of people getting away from the mainstream news outlets and moving into the alternative news outlets. Citizens now have their own internet media. The average Joe can now reach thousands and in some cases millions of viewers and listeners. Almost everything that the Antichrist mainstream media hides gets exposed. They are now desperate to control the internet, but I believe it's too late. Their secret war against Muslims, Christians, and patriots is now painfully obvious. The evidence surrounding 9/11, the Kennedy assassination, and countless other staged terror events is all over the place. Full-length movies, particularly the Alex Jones films and broadcasts, are sweeping through the country like hellfire. All this truth is knocking out their brain. As I mentioned earlier, the mainstream media's only defense is to repeat old worn-out tactics. Attempts to appease Muslim groups while attacking patriot and Christian groups won't work. Practically every Muslim under the sun knows who's in control of the media in the U.S. The forces of the Antichrist have launched a three-pronged war on Christians, patriots, and Muslims. The problem with this is that another staged terror attack is risky now that everyone is waking up to 9/11. If you haven't woke up to 9/11, just check out two movies on YouTube. One is called Loose Change Final Cut, the full version. The other is called Fabled Enemies, the full version. The evidence that architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth and many other good citizens have amassed will illuminate you considerably to the evil that controls the U.S. media and the government. These great films and lots more are available at the Infowars.com website and PrisonPlanet.com. Both are Alex Jones productions. Also, I might add that there is a growing anti-war movement in the United States that may get like the 60s. This is another thing the forces of the Antichrist don't need right now. A large anti-war movement would definitely be a thorn in their side while they are busy attacking Christians, patriots, and Muslims. In closing, I'd like to say that the truth, once out in the open, has a mysterious volition of its own. The truth has a permanence that lies just don't have. When you turn on your television and see these corporate whore bimbos with smiles on their faces, spinning, distorting, and outright lying, remember that the truth is like a can of vicious worms eating away at their phony veneer. And like the Quran says, hurl the truth at them and it will knock out their brains. I hope you enjoyed this segment of the Mongoose Internet Audio Show. You are all invited to check out my channel. At the top of my favorites section, I am featuring an 8-part interview with a former CIA black op named Chip Tatum. Chip Tatum had so much damaging information that the judge in his court case dismissed it all as irrelevant so that it wouldn't go mainstream. Because of that decision, a former FBI agent and Chip were legally able to put the information on YouTube. I think that you'll find it very illuminating. Also on my channel, I am featuring my own presentation which demonstrates in explicit detail how the actual brainwashing methods applied throughout history are being used extensively on students in the Western educational system. The presentation is entitled Public Education and Thought Reform 101 Part 1 and Part 2. You will be amazed at the extent that the forces of the Antichrist will go to brainwash our children. That concludes today's edition of the Mongoose Internet Audio Show. Have a great day and keep hurling the truth at lying scum. Good night.